Brittany here from Hashtag Fam Videos. Today I wanted to show you my super simple planner method. I've tried lots of different planner type things over the years, and it never really worked for me. I was a constant post-it note keeper of notes and phone numbers all over the house, never really being organized, losing stuff, and one day stumbled upon the bullet journal method and absolutely fell in love. So this is my super simple modified version of my bullet journal that works well for our large family. We have 6 kids. I stay at home with them and homeschool them. And I also sell lip scents, which is the long-lasting smudge-proof lipstick. So this is to keep track of, our day-to-day life with family, with kids, with doctor's appointments, and then my lip scent stuff. So this is a simple version. It's not nearly as fancy as a lot of other bullet journals I've seen, but this works for me. So if you need a simple method that can be adapted however you need, this might be helpful. So this is a Loikstrom notebook. I absolutely love their notebooks, but you could use any notebook you want. Mine is the little boxed, I think it's called squared. It's kind of like a graph, and this makes it really easy for me to, when I put my calendars and stuff in, it makes it a really fast method to do that. So that's what I've used and that's what I love. So usually at the beginning of a bullet journal, you number important pages that you wanted to keep track of. I really don't have that many right now, so I haven't used it, but I'll probably add some stuff in at some point. So at the beginning, I have my 2018 calendar at a glance. I don't refer to this a lot, but I use it when I'm making my monthly calendars, and I use it to keep track of my husband's work schedule. He does not work a normal 9 to 5, Monday through Friday job. So this helps me know when he's off at a real quick glance. So that's my first page, and then that one's blank. So I do monthly calendars each month, and I kind of make them as I come up on each month. So for future planning, I just have vertical months each day of the week next to each number day, so that I can write any future planning related things. And just keep track mostly for like doctor's appointments or other things. And then when I'm making my calendar, I'll go back and refer to that to fill in my calendar. But this just helps. This is my super simple future planning method, because I only do my calendars 1 or 2 months at a time. And then towards the end of the year, I'll usually track the next year's stuff on this column. And then I have all things related to menu planning. I like to keep just a running list of our favorite easy, simple meals. For some reason, whenever I'm meal planning, all of a sudden I can't think of anything that sounds good to eat. So I like to keep this list just for quick reference, and I'll add to it and edit it as necessary. And then I keep a few of my favorite baked good recipes. This is a Trim Healthy Mama banana bread. I like to have that on hand for quick, healthy breakfasts for me. And then applesauce muffins and banana bread. I like to keep baked stuff in the freezer for my kiddos on the mornings when we're struggling to get moving. So I just keep that in there. It's just easy for me to remember. And then I left the next page blank if I wanted to add more menu related stuff. I use this page to track my kids' clothing sizes and needs. Their clothes are constantly changing, so it's not always accurate, but it helps me at least know what they've worn more recently. And their sizes, any needs I might have for them, and then I added my LuLaRoe, what I wear in their sizes, because I know their sizes kind of run different, just for me to keep track, and this is just nice and handy. So I think I mentioned this is just kind of my catch-all. Anything that I need to remember kind of goes in this book. It's a planner, but it's also kind of like just my catch-all. So here's an example of my calendar. I draw in all of my calendars. It might look kind of daunting, and the first few times I did it, it probably took more time, but having this grid system, and having done this before, all I need is a pencil, a pen, and a ruler, and it takes me probably less than 5 minutes. I know it's 6 by 6 boxes, and then I can refer to my front calendar, as I said earlier, to fill in the days, and then I would refer to my future planning calendar to add in appointments. And so this just works really well for me. It's super easy and simple, but I've seen people who print out and paste in a calendar if they don't feel like adding it in. But this is just kind of a fun outlet for me. I get to draw and doodle if I have time, or I do a really quick calendar if I'm low on time. But like I said, it doesn't take that long to put together. And then after my calendars, I have my weeklies. Some days I only have enough time to write down the letter day and put a little sticker on the bottom, and that's it. But that honestly works for me. Some days I have time to make them look more cutesy, and it's whatever I have time for, and I enjoy doodling in it if I have time, and if I don't, it's still functional because I have everything that I need. So I'll also do, I'll also do all my menu planning in here. I menu plan for 2 weeks. I plan for breakfast, lunches, and dinners. So this was 2 weeks, and then I made my next one 2 weeks later, just on the next page. And some weeks it's really pretty, and some weeks it's like a brain dump, but it's functional and it works for me. One of my kids put a little sticker on for me. So like I said, some pages are prettier than others. Seriously, I'm telling you, I use this for everything. I think I was teaching a math lesson and I had no scratch paper, probably because I was like nursing the baby and teaching math at the same time, and my journal was handy, so we did math in my journal. So this just works for almost anything. Notes from conferences or sermons, my lip sense information, everything just goes in here. And like I said, if I really needed to keep track of an important page, I would go back to here and I would write, they're all numbered pages in this book. I would write the page number and what it referred to for important things that I wanted to come back to. So here's more weeklies, sermon notes. I used to keep my sermon notes separate in a separate notebook, but I found that it was just easier to keep it all together because then I'm not grabbing multiple notebooks to take to church. And honestly, if I have a notebook that I only keep sermon notes in, I'm only going to look at them on Sunday. And sometimes I'll be going through my notebook and I'll see something that I wrote from the sermon, and it's a good reminder, and I feel like I reflect back on them more often this way. So this just works for me to have everything in one place. I think I mentioned that I used to be like the Post-it note queen of Post-it notes everywhere, this phone number, this address, and I would lose them. And this has kind of like become my one big Post-it note where everything just goes in here. So here's another calendar. And I will often, if I'm on the phone, I will often write down a phone number or an address of something, in that month that pertains to that month. And then I have it and I'm not going to forget it. So more weekly pages. Here is a list. We're going to visit my family in California next week. So here's my brain dump of lists of everything that I need for that trip. And then here's another menu. And then all my kids decided to write me little love notes, which normally is not a kid. This is not a kid notebook, but that was an exception. So that was very sweet. Everybody wrote, "I love you," or something sweet. One of my kids wrote, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." That made my day. Blank page, more weeklies. And then this is my current March calendar. I have 2 bookmarks in my notebook. I keep 1 in my current month and then 1 in my current week. And then I have this cute little thing also tabbed so I can flip to it really quickly. And then for my current week, I have this cute little arrow paper clip, and that just helps keep me to open quickly to the page that I need when I'm planning. And like I said, sometimes I have really cutesy calendars. Sometimes I'll write Bible verses down the side that I want to memorize for the month, or I'll just put some tape on real quick. But I like that I can make this kind of like a fun artistic thing, but it's also really functional and practical for my day-to-day life. And I think there was one more thing I wanted to show. Oh, just more dailies, I guess, or weeklies, I guess. So that's my method. I just wanted to share with you how simple of a planner you can make. I had tried all these different fancy planners and they never worked for me, and I felt boxed in this little space that I couldn't write in. So I just want to encourage you to just find a system that works for you, something that'll be fun, something that will be practical. And like I said, this just works really well for me. And after years and years of looking for something, I just absolutely love this method. I've done other planners, other bullet journals on other years where they were a little bit fancier with more trackers and more things on them. But I really fall back down to the practical. This is just a nice place to have an organized brain dump on a daily or weekly basis. And then I want to show you also real quick how I create my monthly and weekly pages and how simple and quick it really can be to put these together. And I think that's it.